Why is it that when we say we serve a God that is so big, that is so amazing, that is so great and so mighty and so miraculous, yet we minimize his abilities? When we're faced with opposition, when do we first attack that thing in prayer? When do we first say, I'm going to God? And when is it that we say, I've seen the miracles that you perform? The works that you have performed are not just in the word, but they're even in the present day. If you've performed miracles for others, I know you can do these miracles for me. If you've healed others, I know you can heal me. If you've delivered others, I know you can deliver me. And it does not have to be by the standards and the ways that the world does it, because it's for you to get the glory. And God get the glory out of my life. When we have faith, works has to follow it. So there are still things that we have to do as we are trusting God. But we don't settle for, we just have to accept what the doctor says. Or just have to accept what the teacher says about my child. Or I have a financial situation. It's just going to be what it is going to be. Nothing's going to change. We diminish God. We put him last in our situations. We don't seek ye first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness. We choose human wisdom over the wisdom of God, when God can do exceeding abundantly above all we could ever ask or think. Why is it that we put limitations on him? Like the children of Israel, when Caleb was speaking of what we can do, they got upset. When Caleb remembered and he stood on his faith and what he'd already seen God do, he said, if God is on our side, it doesn't matter who we have to stand against. We are well able. That's even today. We are well able because of who we have on our side. When you're walking in this type of faith and you speak it out your mouth, just as Caleb had to stand against that opposition of others being upset with him, you'll have people that will get upset because of your level of faith. You'll have people that will try to attack you because your level of faith. You'll have people that will try to speak against you because your level of faith. But do not bend. Caleb did not bend. Caleb did not break. And he had Joshua with him to agree. So think about who you have with you and who you're allowing to speak into your ears. Are you allowing Caleb and Joshua to speak into your ear? Those who have faith in God, true faith, standing on his word? Or are you allowing those children of Israel, those who were saying, let's go back to Egypt, who would rather stay in bondage than to trust God? The God who has all power, who has shown them what he can do, who had revealed himself to them. They've been in the presence. They've seen the miracles of God. Yet, there were still those spies who said, we're grasshoppers. We're small in comparison to all that opposition. In comparison to those giants in the land. When you are a child of God, you are not a grasshopper. I am not a grasshopper. And so I refuse to let my faith diminish because of those that choose to have diminished faith. There is absolutely nothing that he cannot do. And when we can stand on that, then we know that we cannot let everybody be in our ear. All those other spies, they spoke doubt. And as they spoke doubt, others believed what they saw instead of who had already delivered them, who had kept his promises. God keeps his promises to us. He is not a liar. He's not going to have to say, I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. Our faith is tested all the time. But when that happens, it is on us to walk in faith. Just look at that example and examine your life. Are you walking as Caleb and Joshua? Because they received the promise. Or are you walking in bondage as the other spies to things that God has never intended for you to be in bondage to? The others did not see the promise, experience the promise. They continue to walk in the wilderness until they die in the wilderness. Don't diminish God. Our God is a big God.